Good morning. Welcome to a new little mini series, I guess I'm gonna call it. It is iced coffee chats with no ice. My ice maker is on the fritz again. It's a little schizophrenic, so sometimes I have ice and sometimes I don't, and right now is an I don't have ice day. For those who are new and don't know who I am, my name is Rocío. I have been doing floss tubes since December. I live in Nassau, Bahamas, and I've been here for going on 2 years. Currently we are on quarantine, and so with that I thought, well, let's do something different for quarantine 2.0. And I just got done finishing some other like daily vlogging kind of style videos, including Park Hopper Bart, who I think got it from Caroline Off the Grid, who also does like daily videos. So I don't know if it'll be daily, but at least just talk about stuff that maybe isn't cross stitch and join for the morning coffee. So where do we get started? I put I put a poll to see if anyone even cared to hang out with me in the mornings and just listen to me ramble, which was very surprising to see that so many people actually care about what I have to say, or I find them entertaining. That's kind of cool. There were 2 people, which, just a heads up, when you vote on those Instagram things, you can see who votes. I don't know if those people know, but there were 2 people who had voted. They had no interest in seeing me, but I'm here anyway. And then I had put a box up asking for, like, I don't know, what interests you guys have for rambly topics. I have like a whole list, but I wanted to see first, like, the followers and the audience and the Gazpacho COCOHAMAS Stitchery fans. What did you guys want? And I had, not surprising, an overwhelming amount of people, not overwhelming, like 5, but overwhelming, ask about island life pre-COVID, because there is a huge difference with island living pre-COVID versus COVID. Huge difference. So I guess I'll start from the beginning. Why am I here? So definitely 2 years ago, I was in San Antonio, Texas. I was working at an outpatient clinic for a hospital system there. My husband was working for an oil company, and that company sold. So when they sold, he started job hunting. We knew that we were going to move regardless because the headquarters of that company was not going to remain in San Antonio. So we were gone anyway. And honestly, like at that point, we didn't know if they were going to keep them around because it was another company that bought them out, blah, blah, blah. So lots of just kind of uncertainty and had no idea what was happening. So he had gotten an interview with a different company, still in oil, but it's not an oil company, without divulging a lot of like personal information. He still works in oil, but on the finance side. And so this company, when he was first scheduling the interview, it was thought that the company and the position was going to be in Houston, Texas, which is basically like the center of oil in the US, from my understanding. I do healthcare. So, but for me, it was super good because Houston is a huge medical center. So for me, it was going to be super good too, just to expand my career, continue learning, get to bigger hospital systems, and just do my thing over there. But because my life is full of surprises, it was like 2 or 3 days before the interview, they called him and said, your position is actually going to be in Nassau, Bahamas. If you have no interest in going, then don't bother showing up for the interview. So cue long conversations about what in the hell was I going to do on an island? Identity crisis, vocational crisis, family crisis. It was just a mess. Okay, cue everybody saying basically that you go, we're gonna go visit you, everything's gonna be fine, you're gonna be traveling back and forth. That year, which would have been 2018. Yeah. 2018 was the year after I was engaged. So I was engaged and also dabbling in wedding planning. Whole other topic for another day. So I was going to be traveling back and forth and doing a lot of stuff. So I wasn't really going to be in Nassau very much. So it was going to be okay. So, but still, what the hell was I going to do on an island? That was like the biggest thing. What was I going to do? Me, myself, and I. My husband, at that time, fiance, was going to work every day. What was I going to do with my life? So, and the other things. Like, I had never been to the Bahamas, and all of kind of just like my thinking was, okay, cool, vacationing is awesome, but living where people vacation, like it was really weird. So all of that happened in 2018. We came to Nassau. Okay, my husband went to interview. We basically decided like if the money's there, if we're not going to be taking out of our pockets or going backwards or not being able to survive, then obviously we're not going to go. There's no business. But go interview to find out what is the deal. Because my initial reaction, my initial thoughts were, no. Like, I'm not, no. So, it was Labor Day. Labor Day, they flew us out. We came to Nassau. First impressions. And I have pictures, so I don't remember what pictures I have, but I'm going to be inserting. First impressions were that the airport was really nice. I have traveled quite a bit in my life, and I have seen quite a few airports, and I have been to quite a few beaches and kind of like island style, or like hot vacation spots, Mexico, Aruba, Dominican Republic, Jamaica. So I have like an idea, of what airports and stuff. But when I landed in Nassau, I was very surprised with the airport. It was very clean. They had a band playing, like just happy, the steel drum. I know it has a name. The steel drum, happy. It felt good. There was a good vibe. I'm very much about energies. I know that's weird, but I feel energies. I feel spaces. I feel auras. I feel like my body and my mind doesn't work well in places. But landing, it was just like open arms and happiness. They put us up in Bahamas, which is a luxury, I would call it a luxury hotel. I don't even know what to call it. Okay, we'll go into Bahamas. Bahamas is a resort style complex made up of 3 hotel companies. So there's SLS, Grand Hyatt, and Rosewood? I think it's Rosewood. Rosewood being the highest end, and I'm not sure if it's Rosewood, but I haven't been there in a while. I think it's Rosewood. Rosewood being the highest, Grand Hyatt being the middle, and SLS being the low. My understanding. So all of these opinions and stuff are things like my experiences, and If I'm completely off and wrong, you guys can correct me. So we stayed at the Grand Hyatt, and driving up to Bahamar, so we went straight from the airport to Bahamar. Bahamar is extravagant. Waterfalls at the entrance, you walk in, everything is just like beautiful. It's a fairly new, kind of like I said, it's kind of a resort, but it's not all inclusive. You can go to the place and like go to the casino. Well, casino's another thing. You can go and stay at the resort. You can go to the restaurants there. You can go to the club there. I've never been to the club. You can go without being a guest there, but to use their like pools and beaches and those things, then you have to be a guest. So it's really weird how they do it. So anyway, Bahamar was just like, wow, this is one of the nicest places I've ever been in. Again, I've been to several resorts in my life. I've been to 2 or 3 in Cancun. I've been to the ones in the Dominican Republic. I've been to one in Jamaica. I've been to one in Aruba. So this one though was just wow. So of course, you know, it's like, okay, I went from it being like, no, never in my entire life would I ever live on an island to, maybe it won't be that bad. So first thing we did was we had to go get drinks. Hello, like we're at a beach, it's beautiful. The water is another level of gorgeousness. I mean, I have really become a water snob. If it's not see-through, I can see at the bottom of my feet and make sure that like I don't stub my toe on something. I'm like, ugh. So you become super water snobby here. Super water snob. And the islanders are even worse because apparently the waters in Nassau, which are beautiful, are the ugliest ones in the Bahamas. So I have had people who come from Exuma and the other family islands who work here in Nassau and live here now, and they're like, no. I don't even let my kids touch the water because it's disgusting. They only bathe when we go to Exuma or Inawa or Eleuthera, anywhere other than here. But see, so you really become a water snob. Let's drink. So, okay, we go get drinks. That's when I realized, oh, this is where we're staying. So we ordered, I think it was, maybe a mojito and a pina colada. Okay, like nothing crazy. Each drink was $25. So we're talking about Vegas price drinks. Quality, amazing. But $25. Ouch. So we spent $50 on the first purchase that we made here. So that gives you kind of an idea of, oh, okay, how cost of living is going to be. We were at a luxury style resort, so that could have been the issue. But I think if you guys have stayed at Atlantis, which is on Paradise Island, I haven't had drinks there, but I would venture to say about $20 per drink, maybe. I would venture to say, not sure. It's a pricey place. So anyway, from there, we went apartment hunting. So it was weird because like my husband didn't accept the job. The company was like touring us and showing us all these things, but I think there was like an understanding that he was going to say yes and that he may have been the only candidate. And also on his end, I think he was pretty convinced. I think I've mentioned he's from Venezuela, and he's very much an island boy. And he loves the beach, loves the sand, loves the outdoor sand beach feel. I was born and raised in San Antonio, but my family like my entire family is in Santiago, Chile, which is cold and not a beach. And I love the cold, and I love being indoors and chimneys and like fireplaces and sweaters. So polar opposites in that sense. I love the beach to vacation for a set number of days. But no, he was like the happiest I've ever seen him ever here. So we go apartment hunting, which was kind of funny because it's very similar to like the HGTV, you know, like House Hunters International. It was crazy. And I actually had gotten a Facebook message from a producer on one of those shows. I don't remember which one it was, who had gotten wind, I think because I had posted in a lot of expat like sites, and I wanted to get more information before I got here. And so I think my contact or my post like bounced around somewhere, and then they direct messaged me and were like, "Hi, we're filming." And I never even responded. Nope. So we went apartment hunting. Or house hunting? Apartment house hunting. We had already kind of scoped out the place prior and had gotten onto like the real estate listings and stuff. We had a real estate agent that was assigned to us by the company, and we had a budget in place for living cost. Cost of living here is also stupid high. To give you an idea, I do live on the beach. You can't see it there. I'll insert something. I live on the beach. And I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's a townhome style, so it's long, like, and narrow. Like, here's the wall, and there's the wall. And then it's long. I may do a house tour. And it's 3 stories. The first story is the garage, and the second story is this. So it's the living room, and then behind you is the kitchen, and this is my breakfast coffee station. And then and there's 1 guest bedroom back there. And then upstairs there's the master and 1 other, it's 3 bed, 3 bath. And there's another guest bedroom and bathroom upstairs. The exploding shower. If you watched my floss tubes, you'll know about the exploding shower. That was upstairs. So we started house hunting. And in house hunting, price. I have to get on this, like, trying to stay on track, but it's hard. Okay, so price. To give you an idea, this unit with the 3-bedroom, 3 baths on the beach with a garage, generator, those are other things you have to think about. Generator, hurricane shutters, is 3 times the amount of my parents' mortgage. And my parents live in a humongous house in San Antonio, which cost of living is very low. So I know that that's kind of an exaggeration because I'm talking about a place with low cost of living relative to the country, like the United States. And then cost of living here, which is very comparable to what people call New York. Maybe. I've never been to New York, but these are things that I just hear, you know? How can we live here? Well, I live in a bubble. The bubble being that everything, since we are expat workers, everything is adjusted to maintain the lifestyle here. Now, mind you that maintain the lifestyle here is, I am not considered like the 1% here. I am sharing this island with people who have loads and loads and loads of dollars and don't work. I don't see them working. I don't ask what they do. I don't know. They just hang out and they have a lot of money. So it's not a love, like there's no competing, none whatsoever, zero. And then there are a lot of people who live here for tax purposes. Bahamas is tax-free, but if you're American, doesn't matter where you are in the world, you pay taxes. So it doesn't work for us, but definitely for Spain, lots of European countries, and I think Canada, it's tax-free. And they don't have to pay taxes back home either. So that's kind of one of those loopholes, and it's an incentive to live here. If you buy a property here, I think you have to invest $500,000 and you automatically become a Bahamian resident. So just to give you an idea. Anyway, so back to house hunting. We scoped out probably, I think 4 or 5 different places. All of them relatively close to the office, and all of them, Nassau's a jelly bean. So all of them were middle of the jelly bean, which would be like Bahamas, like middle jelly bean, to the west. Anything to west, and it's northwest. We scoped quite a few there. The thing is, and this is where it's funny, because the cost of living is super high. Everything is like 2 to 3 times more expensive than what I'm used to. But the value that you get for your dollar is shit. It's crap. We went to places that wanted to charge an arm and a leg, literally an arm and a leg, and some eyeballs and some heads, that were filled to the brim with like tacky old, like Oriental style furniture mixed with rattan, the like straw with like, I don't know. It was basically like, what can we find and let's mix it all together and then let's rent it out for a ton of freaking cash. So yeah, so that was really hard. This property was the last property that we saw, and I walked in and it's normal. You have a normal dining room, like glass, right? It's a glass tabletop with chairs. We have a couch that you guys see in all my floss tubes that it's fully furnished. Everything that we looked at is fully furnished. You know, this was like a normal style home. Normal, not luxury, normal. Normal style home that I was like, okay, you know, after seeing all of these super tacky places that want to charge us $1 million a month, that's an exaggeration, but that's what it felt like. This is the one. It has a generator, has hurricane shutters, has everything to get us through any kind of natural disaster that you may be trapped in, you know, almost 2 weeks into coming back on the island, because that just happened to me. So yeah, that's kind of house hunting. So we kept it in mind. We decided on that trip that we were going to accept the job offer and we were going to move here. I sold all of my furniture. Marie Kondo had her show on Netflix, Tidying Up, right around the time that I was packing. I gave away so much stuff. It's not even funny. Gave away so much stuff. I sold my furniture, all of it, downsized to the bare minimum, and then whatever was like sentimental and I didn't want to get lost in a hurricane, I left with my parents in their storage and in some in their house. Not much. It's more cross-stitching stuff in their house now. So yeah. So that's house hunting. What else can I talk about? Life. So pros and cons. Pro, definitely views. I mean, I am very grateful and I'm very lucky and I'm very just fortunate. I'm a very fortunate person to have this opportunity and to wake up every morning and look at the beach. Yes. And the beautiful water. Yes. Life pre-COVID, I had always, at least once a month, a visitor come. So I was never alone. I had, from when I landed here. So my husband moved October 2018, and I traveled back and forth, and then I officially moved, I guess, after Christmas and New Year. So January 2019 is like my official, but I really didn't feel official because I had been bringing my stuff back and forth, and it just was like, and then on top of that, I just kept traveling anyway. So in January, let's see, my in-laws got here in February. And then after that, like literally right after, my mom came, and then literally right after that, my sister came. Yeah, after the bachelorette. No, my best friend and her husband came during spring break. So in February I had 2 visitors, in March I had 1, and then in April my sister came, and then May I got married and I wasn't on the island. June I went to Disney and came back. July my siblings came for 5 weeks during their summer vacation. Then my dad and stepmom came that last week. Then it was all of the cousins that came. And then after that, who else came? My mom came again. Then my in-laws came again. And then we went to Europe. So, I mean, I always had people. So that in itself was like, I felt like I was in just this like permanent vacation. I got a job before I landed here too, but that's a whole other thing. If you guys want that conversation too, I guess let me know, because if I talk about so that's another topic that I could do, is work permits and getting a job, and then what happened after. So another pro was having kind of an escape for family and friends that did not include hotel fees, and they could come and hang out, and we have plenty of room in our house. We specifically got a house with so many bedrooms because we expected to have it to be full all the time, and it almost always was. Like, it got to a point where my husband was like, how many people, like, when are we gonna be here by ourselves? Little did you know. And so yeah, that was a pro. The beaches is a pro. The quality of the water, the permanent tan, like, I'm super tan. I am normally like ghost white, but this is my tan version, and I have been tan for almost 2 years. But it's just because it's permanent outside, permanent sun. I wear lots of sunscreen. And let's see, other pros. The simple lifestyle. So I don't go shopping here. There's no place to go shopping. If you're gonna go shopping, you would go to Bahamas, but all of that is like luxury brands, very high end, not in my price range. That would be shopping, and that's pretty much it. I've talked in a couple of floss tubes about importing, like Amazon and that stuff. You can do all of that, but you have to pay taxes, and it takes forever, and it always ends up being double the cost of the product. Whatever product you're buying, you have to basically budget that it's going to be double when you import it. But if you were to buy it here, it would be probably 2.5 to 3 times. So it's still cheaper for you to import it, but it's not worth the cost of the actual product. Supermarkets. So I go to 3 supermarkets. I used to go to 3 supermarkets. They have their form or their version of a Costco where I can get bulk, but it's like the reject Costco products come here. So everything is like close to expiration and very random. So I think just kind of like Costco, like a product may be there one time, and then if you go back again the next month, the product isn't there and they're not going to bring it back again. Then I have a middle end supermarket that I used to go to, which is a more reasonable price and more variety of goods. That one's called Super Value. And then you have the Whole Foods of Nassau, which is Fresh Market, which is the closest and the smallest? No, I think smallest in the sense of like people wise. So the most exclusive? I don't know how to explain it, but their prices are outrageous. You can get some like kind of like a Whole Foods, you know, you get more specific organic and everything is like blessed by the gods and it's better. But that is exclusively where I've been shopping because it's the closest to my house and it's the least amount of people. So it's not necessarily my favorite place, price-wise, and even variety-wise, because, you know, if you want a jar of Nutella, I can't get a jar of Nutella. I have to get like hazelnut almond butter. I want Nutella. And, oh, okay, so that also, that's kind of a shocker. You go to the grocery stores here and you may find what you're looking for, but more than likely you are not going to find what you're looking for. Forget about falling in love with a brand, because the brand milk that'll come this week will not be the brand milk that'll come next week. And I don't know when the brand from last week is going to ever make its way back into the stores. It will or it won't. I don't know why there are planes. There shouldn't be planes. So my husband always is like, when I would go to the grocery store, and the grocery store has been limited to 3 days a week during this quarantine, and it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. So a successful market trip is like if I am running low on a product. For example, I am in no way sponsored by this. This was my last pack of coffee. We drink Café Bustelo. So last pack of coffee. When I get down to the last of things, I don't go into panic mode. I mean, I'll survive without coffee. I won't survive without coffee. But so if I'm running on the end of something specific like this, which in the US, you could check another store or order it on Amazon. Here, like I said, you just have to like be on a high alert. So I have like these kind of like in cross stitch, like you have your unicorn charts that you're like thinking about, and if you find it, you're like, yes. I do that with everyday products all the time. So we were running low being this is the last one. So if this is out, we're out, because it hasn't been in the grocery store in months. I haven't seen this in months. So I went on Friday. So that's gonna bug. It was a good day. So I found it, and what happens? I don't buy one, because everyone here basically stockpiles. Not only in a pandemic, but if there's a product, another thing, it's kind of funny, like there's a product that goes like this, which coffee probably, because they never have this. So you buy multiples and you stockpile it, and this will get us through a while, so I don't have to worry about this. My unicorn chart is done. You would think that if something goes flying off the shelves, they would place another order or maintain the product to be a consistent flow. No. My opinion, and from what I've heard, is that when products fly off the shelves like that, in bringing more of that product, it creates more work. We don't like to work. We like the simple life. So a lot of things that are very logical sometimes don't exist here. Again, it's different. It's just a different mentality. It's a different lifestyle. not necessarily right or wrong, but it's definitely an adjustment. So when Brenda came during her spring break, you know, and that's one of those things where it's like, oh my gosh, please, like, you live in the Bahamas. Like, how could you be so miserable? Or it can't be that rough. Like, oh, I would give anything to go over there. It's an adjustment. So she came and she had a great time. She came on vacation, but she cooks. She's a great cook, and she cooks Mexican food. And so she needed specific ingredients. So we went to the store and she was looking for these specific ingredients that don't exist. So you have to get another brand, or you just have to substitute or leave it out of your recipe, or it's just, and I'm not talking about like super crazy things. Like for me, something that is really difficult to find here is cumin. Like the spice cumin is really hard to find here. So one of my unicorn items, if I find a thing of cumin, I buy it right away because it's never here. But recipes call for these things, so what do you do? So what I do is a lot of Google substitutions. What can I substitute for cumin? And then I go from there. It's a lot of like, you have to be super flexible, and you can't get stuck in your ways, and you have to go with the life, and you just have to constantly say island life, island life, island life, island life. So she had mentioned, you know, that she had a great time and everything. And she was just like, I don't know how you do it. I could never do it. Could never do it. And I'm like, well, it's island life. So it's just different. Another kind of cool pro is celebrities. So yes, I'm American, and yes, we have this weird thing with stars and tabloids, and it's a weird, apparently it's a very strange American thing. And so some cool things are not meeting, but seeing celebrities. So I have seen Post Malone, I have seen Bruce Willis, I have seen Harry Kane. Post Malone is like this, like, new-ish rapper, I guess you would call him now. Gosh, I'm getting old where I don't know what to call them. I think he's a rapper. He's a music artist. Bruce Willis, everyone has to know who Bruce Willis is, which he looks amazing, by the way, amazing. And then Harry Kane is a professional soccer player, and who else have I seen? I think those are the ones that come to mind. So that's cool. You know, it's like, it's different. Because here you're in a bubble. You live in a bubble. And so the rich and famous are mixed with the not so rich and famous, and it's just normal. You live in a bubble. Obviously this experience will come to an end. We all know that. And we knew that coming in, that we were just going to enjoy it for as long as it was going to last, because then the bubble will pop and we will go back to reality. So this is not normal. It's not normal. We were very fortunate. But if you compare last year's island living to this year's island living, it's been rough. It's been very, very difficult because I don't have people to come visit. I am by myself. Very much by myself. My work is completely on hold. So I am now doing a video series to give me a sense of purpose again. I think that is all that I have in terms of like island living and stuff. I think so. So if you have questions, or if you, I don't know, and it can be anything related that you want me to talk about and ramble about. I can't guarantee that they'll all be this long, or if you have any other clarification questions that you have about my life and island living, let me know. Drop it down below and I will do my best to address it because I have nothing else to do. So plan for today is change the sheets. That's very important. Change the sheets and wash the sheets. And I already took out frozen fish for dinner so that it defrosts in the fridge. I am hoping to catch up on a lot of floss tube today because I am so behind. I feel so bad because people are throwing out stitch along stuff and like hashtags, and I have no idea what any of it is. I feel like a weird kid. So I'm gonna catch up on not all of it today, but start my floss tube watching ritual of my favorite people, and Stitch on The Lion King, and hang out with Gaspacho, who is taking his morning nap somewhere over there. Oh, and this will be my coffee chat area. You guys will not be seeing this in the morning. Well, I don't know, maybe in the morning. My morning's basically over. Like, I gotta get the day started. So it's 10:30 here, and we're in Eastern time. And I want to edit this as fast as possible and get it posted. And so yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. It was a nice little coffee chat time. So thanks. This is like my free therapy, and I hope that this works for therapy for you guys. Free therapy for all during this craziness. Have a great day and stay safe. Wear your masks. Let's get back to normal.